Good Friday evening, April 4th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. Forest managers with the Entiat Ranger District finished up a 100-acre controlled burn yesterday in the Gold Ridge area and planned 700 more acres today. Frullato Fresh, a drive-up breakfast business on Valley Mall Parkway in East Wenatchee, announced a temporary closure this morning. Get ready for a beautiful weather weekend ahead. I'll have your full local weather forecast coming up. The Wenatchee School Board is back to 5 members after the appointment of Mark Belton to the open District 4 position last night. Belton, who is the Procurement and Contract Services Supervisor for the Chelan County PUD, was one of 4 finalists selected to be interviewed by the board. Belton has previously worked in administration for both the Eastmont and Shoreline school districts, is involved in youth theater production, and serves on the board of Small Miracles, which provides lunches to kids in the summertime. The other interviewees were writer Alyssa Bones, case manager Carrie Gavin, and fish biologist McLean Johnson. Belton will be sworn in on April 22nd and serve on the board until the November general election. A Moses Lake Elementary School will remain closed through the 2025-26 school year due to ongoing electrical issues. Groff Elementary School opened in 2021 and has since faced multiple closures due to safety concerns, first in April of 2024 and then last month. The school district launched an investigation which revealed construction defects, leading the district to reassess the long-term safety and viability of the building. Last night, the Moses Lake School Board voted to sue contractor Fowler Construction, demanding the cost to repair and remediate the building. The district said placement plans for students are underway and Groff's staff will also be reassigned. Forest managers with the Entiat Ranger District finished up a 100-acre controlled burn yesterday in the Gold Ridge area and began using prescribed fire to 700 more acres today. The Chelan Ranger District will carry out similar work on Sunday, burning 200 acres north of Chelan at Washington Creek. They warn that smoke is likely to be visible from Echo Ridge and Antoine Creek, but there's no cause for alarm. Prescribed fire is used to clear away undergrowth and fallen timber that can fuel a wildfire in warmer months. The Grant County PUD has appointed Rich Flanagan as Chief Commercial Officer. Flanagan joined the PUD in 2006 and has worked in a variety of roles, including senior term marketer and financial analyst. He graduated from Ephrata High School and holds degrees in accounting and finance from Washington State University. Flanagan is currently serving as interim Chief Commercial Officer, but will officially begin his new role on April 11th. He's replacing John Mertlich, who was promoted to General Manager and Chief Executive Manager in March to replace outgoing Rich Wallen. When we come back, Democrats in charge of the Washington legislature are back to the drawing board after Governor Bob Ferguson said he'd reject one of their key tax proposals. The Wenatchee Police Department will host its annual Vulnerable Persons Registration event on April 19th. And 9th grade Pinnacles Prep Charter School student Betsy Espinoza recently spent a week serving as a page in the Washington State House of Representatives. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
When you enjoy Abby's Pizza at your place, close your eyes and you can taste old-fashioned values, classic pizza parlor decor, and generations of tradition. Recreate that magic. Open your eyes and head to abbys.com. With pickup and delivery options, no matter where you dine, Abby's just tastes better. This is Skinny, and he helped found Abby's 60 years ago. In honor of Skinny, we're putting his favorite pizza on sale. Savory pizza sauce, Canadian bacon piled to the edge, and juicy tomatoes make this a very special pizza. Order your Skinny special right now at abbys.com.
The Wenatchee Bighorns are back in action against the Salem Capitals in TBL play on Thursday, April 17th. Join Grant Olson and Jamie Council with all the action here on the NCWLIFE channel. W.B. Smith Gym on the campus of Wenatchee Valley College is the home for Bighorns basketball, and you can see it live here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Democrats in charge of the Washington legislature are back to the drawing board after Governor Bob Ferguson said he'd reject one of their key proposals to address a multi-billion-dollar budget deficit. From the Olympia News Bureau, Murrow News fellow Albert James reports on the path forward and the Republican opposition that lies ahead.
Neither budget, however, is close to one that I can sign for two key reasons.
The governor made it clear Tuesday the proposals from the House and Senate Democrats had far too much in taxes, and a proposed wealth tax couldn't be used to close the budget shortfall because it's legally untested. House Democratic Finance Chair April Berg says the tax proposed by the House would stand up in court. She also believes a compromise is possible on the tax, as the governor said he would be open to a discussion on a smaller attempt to test its legality.
It's a conversation point. Most conversations don't happen at podiums with microphones. They're going to happen in rooms like this where we sit and we talk as equals about what's best for Washingtonians and what's the best way forward.
With the wealth tax potentially bringing in less than expected revenue, Berg says it's hard to know what alternative revenue proposals could be floated. That's because the governor hasn't sent over a note of concerns outlining his thoughts on the other Democratic revenue proposals, including new business taxes and growing property tax revenues. Ferguson's office said it would be released Thursday or Friday.
I don't want to get it over my skis on this one, but I think just waiting, looking at the letter again. We've had the press conference. Now we'll have the letter coming, and then we'll kind of go from there as policymakers.
Senate Republican budget leader Chris Gildon argues his caucus's budget proposal without any new taxes is better aligned with what the governor wants. The senator criticized all the Democratic revenue proposals, especially lifting the 1% cap on property tax revenue growth.
This is going to be a values judgment that the majority party is going to have to make. Do they value increasing taxes for literally no good reason, or do they value affordability for the people of Washington state?
The Senate Thursday appointed a conference committee to work with the House to resolve their differences and produce one budget. Gildon was appointed to that committee, but criticized the process as substantially changing the budget behind closed doors and saying Republican members aren't typically invited to conference meetings.
The remaining legislators in Olympia will not have a chance to weigh in on it. We will just have a chance to vote yes or no at the end of session.
Berg says the conference process has produced good budgets and Republicans are absolutely involved in the budgeting process. In Olympia, I'm Albert James reporting.
Frullato Fresh, a drive-up breakfast business on Valley Mall Parkway in East Wenatchee, took to Instagram this morning to announce a temporary closure due to unforeseen circumstances. The post explained that the business hopes to relocate but is yet to find another location. Customers are asked to stay tuned as they search for a new space. Frullato first opened in 2020 and offers a wide variety of smoothies, protein shakes, and breakfast items. The business will close at the end of next week. The Wenatchee Police Department will host its annual Vulnerable Persons Registration event on April 19th. The annual event allows vulnerable individuals to provide police with critical information that could assist officers should an emergency arise. A vulnerable person is someone with a medical, cognitive, or physical condition that may pose a risk for that person. Examples include dementia, autism, and more. When a vulnerable individual is believed to be at risk, their registry information is shared with responding agencies to help them best handle the situation. The event will run from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Pybus Public Market. Ninth grade Pinnacles Prep Charter School student Betsy Espinoza recently spent a week serving as a page in the Washington State House of Representatives under the sponsorship of Representative Mike Steele. As House page, Espinoza's duties included delivering documents between offices, supporting work on the House floor, and attending training to learn more about the legislative process. The House page program is a yearly opportunity for students to learn about Washington's legislative system by working directly with lawmakers. Students between the ages of 14 and 16 are eligible to apply and experience a week at the House, much like Espinoza did. Steele said, quote, "It's inspiring to see young people take an interest in how our democracy works." Coming up next, the Community for the Advancement of Family Education, or CAFE, was recognized earlier this year at the 2025 Uplift Awards. We'll have more on that in tonight's feature story. Mostly sunny and unseasonably warm weather on the way this weekend. I'll have all the details coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
Central Washington Water is home to the Hot Spring Spa for over 45 years. Come see the Freshwater Smart IQ. It monitors your saltwater spa's pH balance, chlorine, and more. Or the cold plunge tub that will leave you feeling rejuvenated. Plug-and-play spas make hot tubbing easy. With great financing available, cold water, salt water, hot water, Central Washington Water has a spa for your budget and your lifestyle. Stop by today.
NCWLIFE's news team is keeping an eye on North Central Washington. Join us each weekday evening at 5, 6, and 10 for the NCWLIFE Evening News, with interviews, in-depth reporting, and the kind of insights you can't find anywhere else. We're the hometown news station for the Wenatchee Valley, the Cascade Foothills, and up and down the Columbia River. Thanks for watching NCWLIFE, proud to be part of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCWLIFE. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
The Community for the Advancement of Family Education, or CAFE, was recognized earlier this year at the 2025 Uplift Awards. The organization works towards empowering the Latino community through education and is led by Tona Chacon, whose parents, Alma and George, founded CAFE. The nonprofit is also eyeing a new building and is zeroing in on the YMCA location on Orondo Avenue. In tonight's feature story, NCWLIFE News caught up with Tona to learn more about the organization's goals for a new building and what it meant to her to accept the Uplift Award in her first year as director.
It was a really fun experience, and I was really excited to be there to share it with both of my parents, who are GUFES founders. So they went up there with me, and it was a really great experience because they were able to also be a part of that, because We got to where we are right now because of their dedication to community, their passion for supporting the Spanish-speaking community. And so providing those bridges where we can now continue to go over the bridges to support with language access, to support with just ensuring that they have access to resources that are life-saving at times. So they were really those people that got us to where we are, and I am fortunate enough to continue the work. So I was really privileged and excited to be able to share that opportunity to go up on stage and accept the Uplift Award with them, because really it's because of them that we are where we are right now. And I mean, we can go around the city and everybody will know them. I'm still their daughter, and I think that's great because they're the founders, they're the ones who made it all happen, and I'm just happy to follow in their footsteps and do my best to continue to live up to their hype. In my first year, I think really, I think personally, the highlights is just seeing the team grow, and as they continue to learn and become more passionate about their community and the work that they're doing. I just love to see them really grabbing onto those tangible items that they're able to take in to their work. So if they're able to see that our community is needing support, just seeing their passion grow is more exciting than anything. When we hire people, you know, you are looking for certain qualities, and really the people that we hire, they're part of our community. A lot of them went out seeking resources and oftentimes have found cafe as well. So knowing that we have a really great team who are every day becoming more and more knowledgeable about advocacy and different ways that we can advocate for our community who can't advocate for themselves, I think that's going to be our main pillar of strength is the team. Our goal is to have workspaces for our partners to come in so that when our community comes in, hopefully it's like a one-stop shop. And so that way, instead of having to spend all day or a couple of days with kids in tow even and going from place to place, they can hopefully come into the multicultural, multi-service center, community center, and be able to access those resources right there and then. And we just know that with the work that we've done in outreach that there is a need for that people want something like that. They want a place to call home, even though they have their own homes, but to feel comfortable going somewhere like that. And so we're looking for a home for cafe, but also a home for our community. So we're really excited about that new move, and we're hoping to be able to close the deal in August. So yeah, it's really exciting to be moving forward and to just finally be in a new space.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast, and I hope your week ended on a positive note. Boy, it sure did weather-wise, that's for sure. Outside our weather window from this afternoon, just nothing but blue sky. Just a few smattering of clouds and a few more clouds up in the higher elevations, but for the most part, beautiful shot from our Wenatchee Heights tower camera. And as we move into the upcoming weekend, we are going to stay nice. This is one of the nicest weekends we've had. Saturday, we're going to see highs in the low to maybe high 60s. That will be more towards the Columbia Basin. And then by the time we get into Sunday, we're going to start off with sunshine, increasing clouds in the afternoon. But look at that, mid 60s to lower 70s for afternoon high temperatures. Hope you have some fun outdoor activities planned this weekend. Not bad today, unofficially 60 degrees, a couple of degrees higher than we should be. 58 is our normal high for this time of year. 77 our record, and it was set in 1977. 37 this morning, 38 our normal low temperature, and 29 our record low. That was set in 2023. Sun came up this morning at 6:33 and it sets tonight at 7:35. Let's get you into that weekend forecast. And Saturday, boy, it's going to be nice all across north central Washington with high temperatures warming into the low, even mid 60s. We're going to see that Moses Lake and Ephrata 65 degrees, 64 for Quincy, and then low to mid 60s, Wenatchee, Entiat, Chelan, Omak, you will see a high of 64, upper 50s to low 60s from Lake Wenatchee and Leavenworth. Cashmere, you will also be in those low 60s for your Saturday afternoon high temperature. Tonight, we can expect mostly clear skies, still a ridge of high pressure parked all the way over in eastern Wyoming, but there's also another one to our south, and that's the one that's pumping up the warm air that we're seeing. Seasonally cool tonight with those clear skies, mid to upper 30s for lows, and then kicking off our weekend, just a streak of high clouds through central Washington for Saturday. We're going to be warmer, highs generally in the low to mid 60s by tomorrow afternoon. Sunday, increasing clouds. You can see a trough of low pressure digging its way into the western side of Oregon. That's going to bring some showers in the afternoon to western Washington. And here is our evening, where we have about a 60% chance of rain Sunday, highs in the mid 60s. For Monday, cloudy skies and just kind of a mess around the western United States. 50% chance of rain on Monday. We'll cool down a little bit too, back to more normal temperatures with highs in the low 60s. For Tuesday, we're going to keep kind of rainy, maybe some breezy conditions in parts of north central Washington, a 40% chance of rain. High temperatures on Tuesday near 60 degrees, so we're going to stay about normal temperature-wise. And then as we move into your Wednesday and midweek forecast, we'll see partly cloudy conditions, high pressure again parking itself in northwestern Washington. That'll keep us pretty stable as we get into the mid and end of next week. High temperatures Wednesday, once again, right around that 60-degree mark. And then by the end of our forecast on Thursday, a lot quieter weather. Mostly cloudy skies, mainly some high clouds out there Thursday. A little bit warmer, too, with high temperatures then in the low 60s. Here's your 7-day forecast. 37 overnight tonight. Enjoy this beautiful weekend. A mix of clouds and sun both Saturday and Sunday. 63 Saturday, 66 Sunday. Remember, evening rain will develop Sunday night and stick around into Monday and into Tuesday. Look at that. We're going to cool down to about 59 for a high on Tuesday. And then a mix of clouds and sun for Wednesday and Thursday with high temperatures then in the low 60s. And that's a look at your north central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
What once was old now is new to the NCWLIFE channel. Tune in for Bonanza, Superman, The Andy Griffith Show, The Beverly Hillbillies, The Invisible Man, The Lone Ranger, and The Lucy Show. Check your program guide for classic programming on NCWLIFE channel, your local TV station. Happy finally Friday. The Mariners are in San Francisco to begin a weekend series with the Giants. Today's game got underway earlier as Luis Castillo, The rookie, not that, Luis Castillo, makes his debut for Seattle against the crafty veteran Justin Verlander. As a result of this decision, Bryce Miller and Brian Wu have been moved back a day, so Miller will go tomorrow at 6:05. Wu will start Sunday's game at 1:05 in the afternoon. Seattle heads to the Bay Area with a 3-4 record, good enough for third in the American League West, behind Texas and Los Angeles. Houston moved into a tie with Seattle for third yesterday with a 5-2 win over Minnesota. While the Astros remain in the Twin Cities, the Athletics are at Coors Field. Kansas City is in Texas. Cleveland visits the Angels in Anaheim. Well, fresh off a 5-0 win in Vancouver, the Seattle Kraken heads south to California this weekend. Kraken will play at San Jose against the Sharks tomorrow night at SAP Center. The puck will drop at 7 o'clock on Kong TV. Now, following Saturday's game, Seattle will remain in Southern California to take on the Kings in LA. That'll be Monday night at 7:30. Well, while Haley Van Lith and her TCU Horned Frogs have been relegated to spectators, the NCAA Women's Final Four will be played out tonight. 3 of the 4 number 1 seeds made the Final Four, with number 1 Texas, who ousted TCU on Monday, is facing number 1 and defending national champion South Carolina. That's followed by number 2 UConn and number 1 UCLA at 6:30. Both games are being televised on ESPN. The men's Final Four will play out in San Antonio, Texas tomorrow. And for only the second time since the NCAA men's tournament expanded to 64 teams back in 1985, we have all 4 number 1 seeds making the Final Four. The only other time it happened was back in 2008. Florida faces Auburn tomorrow at 3:09 to be exactly on CBS. And that'll be followed by Houston and Duke at 5:39. Women's championship will be played Sunday at noon on ABC and ESPN. Men's title game is set for Monday at 5:50 on CBS. The Wenatchee Bighorns continue a 5-game road trip in Seattle this weekend. Bighorns will take on the Seattle Superhawks tomorrow at Royal Brom Pavilion. That's at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Wenatchee is on a 4-game winning streak and coming off a 122-98 win over Willamette Valley last Sunday on the road. Back home, meanwhile, Sandy Cooprider has taken over as managing partner with his son Sean, who owns the Bighorns. He is recovering from heart surgery. Wish the best of luck to Sean. NCW Life Channel will feature Big 9 boys soccer tonight on TV. The Wenatchee Panthers are hosting the Moses Lake Mavericks at Lebofto Field at the Apple Bowl. The Panthers are 4-0 on the season and 3-0 in Big 9 play. Moses Lake comes in with a 3-4 overall record, 2-1 in conference play. Mavericks have also won 3 of their past 4 contests. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wiesen will have the call with our pregame getting underway at 6:45, both on TV and the stream. Besides Wenatchee and Moses Lake tonight, Eastmont is on the road at Davis to take on the Pirates. In CWAC play tomorrow, Ellensburg visits Quincy at noon, while Ephrata travels to Othello. Cashmere has a 1 o'clock match in Brewster. The Prep Girls Fast Pitch schedule today has Ephrata at Sela for a doubleheader. Quincy visits Ellensburg for 2 games. Moses Lake is hosting Eisenhower for 2. Wenatchee is hosting Sunnyside for 2 games at Triangle Park, and Eastmont is on the road for a doubleheader at Davis. Coming up tomorrow, Chelan plays a twin bill at Cle-Elum starting at 11 a.m. Warden is hosting Lake Roosevelt. Eastmont is hosting Issaquah for 2 games beginning at noon. Liberty Christian is facing Lake Roosevelt at Warden tomorrow afternoon. That'll be at 1 o'clock. The lone baseball score from yesterday found Quincy beating Cascade 12-2. Wenatchee is in Sunnyside for a doubleheader today. Chelan is facing Royal at Yakima Valley, followed by a game against County Benton at 5:30. Eastmont's home today in the fourplex for 2 games against Davis. Moses Lake has a doubleheader at Eisenhower. Tomorrow's baseball schedule has Okanagan at Brewster at 11. Brewster will host Cle-Elum afterwards at 1 o'clock. Lake Roosevelt has 2 games in Warden. The first is against Warden at 11, followed by a matchup with Colfax at 1. Liberty Bell is at Jenkins-Chewelah for a doubleheader. That begins tomorrow at noon. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a great weekend.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at ncwlife.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great weekend.
What do you think of that?
Pretty big, I like it.
Watch for new episodes of the Northwest Outdoorsman on the NCWLIFE channel, your local TV station.